I'm freaking out, man.
You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men power want? More power.
And now, broadcasting live from deep within the borders of occupied liberal territory known as California, Luca Zanna with Love, Guns, and Freedom.
All systems go.
Don't tread on us. We're not afraid.
Here we go, another Sunday, another show with Luca Zanna. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom, and Mike Haywood. Hi, Mike, how are you?
How you doing, Luca? I know you're in a good mood today after seeing that uplifting movie.
Yeah, Maleficent, and just a short message. Stay the hell away from that movie if you have kids. If you're an adult person and you can understand what's going on, yes, go there and see exactly what they're planning for us. This is completely brainwashing Luciferian propaganda, in my opinion. And yes, devil worshipping on steroids. And this is done to brainwash your kids. But today, unfortunately, I wish to talk about that more. Maybe we can talk about that in another show. We have very interesting, very important, vital news. We're going to have two guests today, Mike. First hour right now is on hold. Mr. Robert Crooks, also a.k.a. Little Dog, calling live from Bunkersville, Nevada, exactly very close to the Bundy Ranch. We have some updates, and we have a lot of interesting things going on. Little Dog is calling here. Maybe he lost the line, probably. 1 second, let me see there. Little Dog, are you there? Okay, just to let you know, call back. We go back to on the air. We are live. Call us back. We are here. I'm gonna put you on the air. Bye. Okay, this is Little Dog, and you see we are live, so it's anything goes around here. Anyway, so we will talk about Little Dog. It's going to be a very interesting show because, first of all, he's a very interesting character. I met Little Dog in 2005, the first day of the time when the Minuteman Project started in 2005, the 1st of April in Tombstone. And I was even there a citizen yet. Okay, Little Dog, you are on hold. Don't go away, please. And from there, of course, Little Dog, he created his own organization in very spontaneous groups called Mountain Minutemen. Let me put him on just to be sure we don't lose him, okay? 1 sec. On the air, Little Dog. Are you there, Little Dog?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Luca. How are you?
Very good. Please don't stay in a good place. I know you're on the cell phone, and sometimes the line can be kind of weird, okay? So,
yes, sir.
First of all, let's talk the beginning. You know, when we met a long time ago. Me and you, we go back to 2005, if I well remember, right?
Yes, sir. But 2005 in the Tecate line down in Campo.
Yes, Campo.
California.
And I know you were on the first Minutemen with the Minuteman Project in 2005 in Tombstone. You went down there too, I guess, right?
Yes, sir. I was with the original Minuteman Project. It was called Civil Homeland Defense. Put together by Chris Simcox back in May of 2005 in Tombstone, Arizona.
Did we cross each other? Because I was there the 1st of April. It was about almost 4 weeks before I became an American citizen, naturalized citizen. I was there the 1st of April. Did we cross each other there? Did we meet each other that day? I don't remember.
I don't remember either, Luca, but I do remember meeting you for sure at Campo at the time.
Oh, yeah. Campo, I remember very well then. So
when we were at Tombstone, there were so many people who were so busy we could have crossed trails many times and have never known.
Exactly. So, Lisa, right now, first of all, where are you today? Where are you located?
I'm at Bunker Hill in Bunkerville on the Bundy the Bundy Ranch, sir.
Perfect. And before we go today, what's going on there at the Bundy Ranch, I would like to give a little bit more of a background about you, because I know that you're a person that's very serious and dedicated about your ideals, you know. First of all, since 2005, what have you been doing? How did you spend your time? What was, I know you're a retired guy. You retired about what? When did you retire exactly?
In 2005.
Okay. What used to be your line of business?
I'm a retired commercial fisherman.
Okay, so you were pretty much ready to enjoy some retirement, and then something started to, click into your brain and say, I need to do something here. What did you do?
Well, I spent so much time offshore, Luca, fishing and not really paying attention to what was going on to the interior of my nation, my country. And then when I tied up the boats and started looking around, I said, what the heck is going on around here? And then I started digging into some of the issues that are creating havoc in our nation. One of the biggest ones is this illegal immigrant problem. The invasion of our country by these undocumented, unwanted, unwelcome criminals.
Okay, before we go ahead, just to let you know, I want to remind, because this is something very important. You got wind sometimes. Try to find a good spot that there is no wind if it's possible, just to make sure we have a good line. And, I say that to all guests, especially, I want to remind Mr. Crooks, little dog, is a man that has been living the last 9 years at least in the middle of the wilderness, okay? And let me introduce you a little bit better. Since he created this group called the Mountain Minutemen, it pretty much is himself and some other friends dedicating their time and their money in monitoring the border, the southern borders, especially exposing, and you have a lot of great job you've done there, the illegal human trafficking and also dangerous drugs trafficking of these drug cartels that unfortunately we know very well that there is some sort of sinister partnership with our governments, because there is no way all this traffic of drugs and drug cartels can have access. So this is very important. This man has been living in the middle of the wilderness, is a guy that is not exactly what you would like to call a high society, sipping tea, regular guy. You're a soldier. Now you're a soldier facing the southern border, try to expose the problem. So it's normal that sometimes people like you, and sometimes I do that myself, we may use a little colorful language, also called cussing. So remember, little dog, we are on the air and we have FCC rules, okay? Just to let you know, refresher, because sometimes I make mistake too here, okay?
Yes, sir, I understand. I've already schooled myself, and I put my First Amendment on safety.
Very good, very good. So anyway, so keep going. So you spent the last 9 years on the southern border, and exactly what did you see? What you can share as your experience that you witnessed on the southern border? What's happening?
I've been monitoring, Luke. I've been monitoring an unfettered flow of illegal immigrants across our border for the past 10 years. And it has been unchecked and virtually relentless. It's a daily event, nightly, daily, every day, day in, day out. We have a corrupt regime in power that's placating the way for this third world domination in our inner cities. It's we're going to heck in a handbasket, amigo. And there's nobody doing anything about it. That's where I stepped up and started trying to make some changes on the border by being present, being there, call them and see them and call them, observe and report. And then when Brian Terry was shot in 2010, December, when he was shot, he was assassinated in December 2010. That's when I changed my venue from chasing the illegal Julio Cornfolio looking for a lettuce field in Fresno, going after the drug smugglers. And for the past 3 years, that's exactly what I've been doing. 4 years now, is hunting down heroin and marijuana smugglers in the deserts.
Did you have death threats? I'm sure they are pretty much anything happens on the borders. The drug cartels, they are pretty much of a knowledge. I'm sure they know your face and they know who you are. As the border patrols, you've been pretty much a presence there, permanent presence. You pretty much live down there. Any type of special experience we can share with the listeners about any type of close encounter with maybe Mexican army or maybe just drug cartels or whatever you think is interesting.
The Mexican Army, I had contact with the Mexican Army, Face-On 300, a company of infantry, Mexican infantry at Patriot Point on the Tecate line. I got up one morning to do my normal morning thing, and I looked up and there's a full company of Mexican infantry had bivouacked 50 feet from the border fence, probably 100 feet from my location. They come in the middle of the night, set up their tents, and I didn't even know they were there till morning. It was quite a shock.
Okay, and I'm sure that, the problem that if they stay on the side of the border, that's all peachy for me. The problem that we know very well, and there are a lot of recent incidents, like, for example, that there are no incidents, they're really serious trespassing and violation of our sovereignty. Like, for example, in Tucson, down there was a Mexican army, I don't know exactly what type of sides, but an American man was shot by Mexican soldiers. That was happened exactly about within 20 miles in the Arizona border. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I have heard about this. We have a corrupt regime in power right now in our nation, and we have to. The only way we're going to get the border secure is by cleaning out the cabinets and the shelves and the empty suits in Washington D.C. We can go down the border and we can do what we can as civilians, but without troops on the line, we're never going to have this country, these borders secure, or our sovereignty.
And don't you find it interesting that, we have pretty much, we can seal a border that between Korea, North Korea, and South Korea that not even a rat can go through, okay? And if there is, we spend so many billions of our tax dollars defending somebody else's borders. Instead, our big priority, like our southern border, that we know very well that there is a lot of bad things happening there. It's not just about, first of all, I believe that even the person that come here in a legal way, trespassing a border without going through the proper channels, and this is coming from a former legal immigrant like myself, even, of course, is not as priorities like maybe some drug dealer or some gang member that could be even more dangerous, but I believe there is a very much serious problem there. If somebody come here to work illegally, first of all, it is a violation of law. We have a federal law. And number two, also is a big slap on our face, like for people like myself that had to wait in line for many years, following all the different type of procedures. It's very discriminatory, I think. And more important, I think that we must know anybody who wants to come in this country must be at least taken notice. Because we may wake up in the morning and have like 20, 30 millions of people that we don't even know where they're from. They will get amnesty and forget about stealing and putting the wages down of our American workers. That could be bad, but it's not bad enough. What I'm really concerned, these people, they're going to be eligible to vote. And they can transform this country from within in a new, complete socialist nightmare that we already have. Go, Mike.
Okay, I got a message from a listener that says, entering the country illegally is not a crime. It is an administrative violation. Well, illegal means you're breaking the law, doesn't it?
Illegal means illegal.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
By the way, we have this person. I think I'm not lawyer. I'm not a high degree level. But I tell you something. It's a federal law. Yeah, it's a violation of law. Okay, you can be arrested. You can be thrown out, and there is a specific code, a U.S. code that you can find out if you want to. And it's not just some sort of slap on the wrist. Of course, now we've been taken over. And you know what?
If you cross the Mexican border illegally, they shoot you.
Exactly. Robert, give me your opinion why you think our government, or at least what's supposed to be our government, I think it's a banksters globalist government right now, wants so bad to have millions of illegal aliens coming here and setting camp. Why you think there is this big necessity? Give me your opinion.
My thinking is that Clark Cleven's plot to destroy this nation. People in America are all wrapped up in the illegal immigration issue, but it just masks the bigger problem, and that's the narcotics trafficking. We have troops in Afghanistan fighting the Taliban. The Taliban want the poppy fields destroyed, and the Karzai regime wants the poppy fields fluid. And we have American troops supporting the Karzai's poppy fields, and then we're arming the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico to keep the dope lines open so that the crooked politicians in Washington, D.C. can flood the filth into the inner cities of America to further demoralize and demean this country, then topping it off by flooding it with the unregistered and illegal undocumented immigrants, and they further in getting on the welfare rolls. And the whole thing is a major conspiracy plot to destroy this nation. That is their La Programa, they call it. On the border, it's called La Programa.
Yes, and I agree with you, because this is more than just, getting some poor people, with try to exploit them, and of course cut down the wages. Because I believe there is a different layers of reality here. The first layers, of course, the big businesses or even some medium business, chamber of commerce, they like illegal aliens because they can come here and pretty much coming from a world, a reality where pretty much the economy is so poor. And just for them, even get less than minimum wage would be like a great victory, would be a great change of quality of life. So big business, I really believe they want to exploit them to get pretty much the wages down. And that's one side. There is another side, of course, that becomes deeper than that. Unfortunately, we know very well that if you want to destroy a country, you need to destroy the fiber, the society.
Exactly.
And for example, if tomorrow we have 20, 30 millions of new citizens, okay, they didn't really have any type of screening. They didn't have any type of mentality coming from, for example, a place where we need to go through a process. Like, not necessarily it's going to be 100% sure, but normally, let's say when you come from Europe or come from other parts of the world, you try to come here most of the time to try to create something, okay? If you come from countries where normally you've been treated, and I'm not saying this is their fault, by 5-6 families control the whole country, like Mexico, okay? And these poor people, they are treated like slaves, because that's what they are treated like. They just work in the camps. They come here, they find that there is a reality they can tap in, like, social services, housing. And of course, if you join the political party, they're normally, most of the time, they're trying to pander to them. In this case, it's the Democratic Party. That they will use these people at the election polls. And that's what really scares me. Same time, Republicans, they are as guilty because they're selling out as the Democrats for different reasons. The problem here is not just they're going to bankrupt our system, school system, education system. I mean, there are 7 billion people out there in the world. How many people can we get let in? I mean, this is coming from a former immigrant. That's why I think it must be a process of screening of this is not the right. When I come to America, it wasn't my right. It was like a privilege, okay? I wasn't born here. So I had to fight hard. I had to work hard to prove myself. And that's what I think now we are missing. That's why I say, Robert, I agree with you pretty much on everything. But when you say, okay, Julio, whatever you call it, come here just...
Julio Portfolio looking for a letters filled in president. Here's the problem, Luca.
Yes.
ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, and Border Patrol are not deporting. So why should I waste my energy trying to stop this rampant flow of illegal immigrants looking for a job or McDonald's near you when I can focus on the bigger problem at the moment, which is this heroin trafficking?
I agree with Mr.
Heroin addictions have 80% across the nation because our country, this corrupt regime, is blind-eyeing the flow and actually facilitating them with narcotics trafficking. So it's very frustrating when you're looking at trying to stop illegal immigrants when all the government, all this corrupt regime is doing is giving them the turnkey, the catch and release program. Here's a ticket. Can come to show up in court next week, which of course that's never going to happen.
Yes.
But the deportation is down. Obama and Oler and these people that are causing this problem in this nation right now need to go and go now.
Robert,
people in America, wake up. The time is getting short.
Yes.
We have to make moves to get this country back on track.
Yes, and by the way, I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. You're doing this more than anybody's doing here, okay? I mean, I'm not trying to put it on you because the point is supposed to be the federal the federal duty of our government, okay? So you do, of course, you're a man. You're just a guy down there, and you try to prioritize your energy. And bottom line, you're doing more than you're supposed to do. You're supposed to retire, enjoy your life, and that's why we are paying taxes so the federal government can take care of this problem. The few duty that you're supposed to do, it is to protect our sovereignty of this republic, our borders. So they're failing us. So don't get me wrong. I'm not getting down on you.
They are failing miserably.
So my point is, though, one, at the same time, I remind to the federal government that, yes, even the man or the woman that comes here just for a purpose of survival, and from the human point of view, I tell you, I feel for these people because I understand that the gravity of this corruption and this government, like even Italy now is becoming like a Mexico, okay? So I would try to get out of there. The only problem is, as I said, we have a system, there are some rules, there are some laws, and it's not right that people are more privileged than others. We should all follow the same laws. If, as an immigrant, we should all go to the same channel. So my point now, yes, we have a bigger problem here that we are pretty much inundated every night with huge amount of drugs. And the problem for me of the drugs is not just the drug itself, they're supposed to be a personal responsibility, is the problem that they are like some sort of a bait to create a new class of slaves called felonies. Everybody's going to have a felon. We have private prison, they're flourishing, and they want, first they sell us the drugs, the government is complacent. Don't forget that all these bigger banks, they paid fines because they're proving that their part of their job is to recycle this money. And trust me,
they launder the cash for the cartels.
Exactly, and you couldn't do that without the approval of the government. You know that. This is
of course, and then that money that's been shipped back into Washington D.C. to lobby for open borders and less restriction and more restraining of the border patrol agents. These are dangerous times, my friend.
Yes,
we are a hair away from a border war that is going to stretch into Phoenix and Denver and Albuquerque and San Diego and Brownsville and Houston and Dallas, and people in America don't realize that this conflict between the cartels and our government is going to have a border war in our neighborhoods.
Yes.
See, they're pushing for what they call la reconquista, or la raza, la mincha, the left-wing radical Hispanics are pushing for this la reconquista concept about taking back America back from Mexico. Well, my friend, I think we should go down there and take Mexico and make it a 52nd state.
No, I think we should just stay in peace. We could have our own place. They could have their place. But the problem is this is not just, they use these people like pawns, okay? The globalists, their agenda is to divide and conquer. To destroy America, they need to balkanize it, okay? They need
remember when Holder said the banks were too big to jail?
Yes. You're right.
I remember he stands in front, he gets filed for contempt of Congress for Fast and Furious, and Obama gives him a green light to keep staying in office. What's wrong with you people out there in America? Remember Benghazi? He was in Las Vegas before the blood had dried in the streets over there, for God's sakes.
Exactly. And that's exactly what they're trying to push now, because when we're going to have millions of illegals, some of them, they're also gang members, and they're going to be given amnesty, this is going to be part of the civil unrest that they want to create. Because at that point, they need by the way, they're using these people like completely, especially in the southern borders, brainwashing the young people with this La Raza idea that means their race. Think about if me and you tomorrow we start a group, Mike, that we call the race, and their slogan says, their little motto says, for the race everything, translated from Mexico, outside the race nothing. And this is completely racist, okay? Not only
I would call it racist, yes, sir.
Yes, and think about this organization, La Raza, not only is just, for me, is a racist organization, but also takes millions and millions of dollars of our tax dollars and is in the middle of a completely in Congress now, and is part of the establishment and is lobbying, and they have a special office there in Congress to try to pretty much push this agenda. And as I said, this is not just for cheap labor. This is not just for some sort of new union card or whatever they're going to try to use it.
Here's this thing that's really got my goat right now is they're giving illegal aliens driver's license.
Yes.
Don't you realize that driver's license, you walk into a gun shop and you can buy a firearm?
Yes.
What is wrong with these people?
Exactly. They need to balkanize us. They need to put us against each other. And more important, they want to use these people that have been brainwashed because they go to their little education center, they call them, in their own books. They teach them that La Reconquista, as you were saying before.
La Reconquista, okay? Yes, sir.
Whatever they lost the last 100 years, they want it back. Now the plan is, like in California, they're not using guns yet, but they're using their penis. That means they can pretty much repopulate, and they already, for example, said, I remember the 1998 was the big fight. There was this big riot in front of the federal building in Los Angeles, where American people, older and seniors, they were beaten up, and the cops, they were there doing nothing.
Well, I understand Holder's new task is to launch a platform against what he calls domestic terrorists.
Exactly.
And they're calling us domestic terrorists. When I was up here, when the BLM was pointing their automatic weapons at 16-year-old kids on horseback, you tell me what terrorism is. I mean, excuse me, sorry.
Okay.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Give me the definition of terrorism. When I see uniformed BLM agents pointing automatic weapons at cowboys, 16-year-old kids, unarmed kids on horseback, running the range, riding cowboy.
Exactly. Go
Well,
ahead,
don't get me started, sir.
No problem. Mike,
My family down.
Mike has a question. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, the same caller messaged me again saying we stole the Southwest from Mexico. So, I mean,
Hey, we won that war. The treaty. Well, do your research. Do your homework, kid. Whoever's out there saying that we stole that land, we won that. We won that land fair and square. The Treaty of Hidalgo, Guadalupe Hidalgo says so.
Okay, can I say something here?
Yeah.
If I was a Mexican, I would be happy that we stole that piece of land, we won the war. Yeah. At least whoever was on this side of the border, he had a chance to...
That war, the war's still going on right now. We're still fighting the war.
I agree, but the point is, I've been sarcastic here. You know, if really...
Oh, sorry.
You know, if the point is, if these people, they are so happy there and pretty much oppressed by these 5 families with the oppressive government, with pretty much the drug cartels control everything, I'm glad that America was able to take a part. And you see that with the same resources...
Now they want to come back over here.
Yeah, I mean, listen, my point is this one. Nobody's perfect. America isn't perfect. It's called wars. With the same concept, we can go back, for example, to the Romans. Londinium of London was created and founded by the Romans. And then we left it. And then what? We should go back and say, I want London back. This is my land now. Yeah. Come on, it's time to move on. And at this point, Mexico has so many beautiful resources, has probably more resources than we have.
Oh, they do.
What they
This is
do?
what I've been saying for many years now, Luca.
Yes.
We need to go and help Mexico fight the corruption that's taken over that great, beautiful nation. I've been to Mexico. I love Mexico. It's a beautiful country. I lived down there for 3 years practically, down in Puerto Escondido on a 50-foot trimaran. Many years ago, when Mexico was a nice, comfortable, beautiful place to hang out. Now you can't. I'm afraid for Americans that cross the border to go to Los Algodones to get their medicines. The older folks. This gang, this corrupt cartel conflict over the drug and this narco traffic, the narco war is out of control in Mexico. And what we have to do is we've got to do some remedies in America. The first thing we got to do is keystone the legalization of marijuana for border security. I know that sounds crazy, but God, you got to look at the big picture. I'm hoping Colorado will lead the way in how the states in these states of America, the United States of America, can bail themselves out of debt, cut down all this overhead from fighting this pseudo drug war to inflate the prices. Legalize weed. Take the bite out of the money generated in China. The cartels are using against us, and then secure the border. Lock it down. Nothing in, nothing out. And I kid you not, lock it down. And we can do it. We got the shit to make that happen.
Okay.
And not by technology. I'm talking about boots on the ground.
Okay,
bayonets.
Good. Listen to me. I agree with you. That's the part why they want to completely criminalize marijuana, because something that you can grow. Okay, and first of all, from a freedom point of view, I believe that we're supposed to be free to own our own body if we do it in the respect of others' rights. That means if I'm here right now in my own house and I'm not danger to anybody, I should be able to drink if I want. If I want to get drunk, it's my right. Of course, I need to be responsible for what I'm doing. Same thing, more people die anyway of alcohol than of marijuana. Nobody really ever died. But more important, it's my body, and I should be able to pay for it and take care of that and be responsible. Now, they do this for many reasons. And one of the reasons is the moment that this plant becomes illegal, not only becomes a value that's supposed not to have. Like, for example, now we have something supposed to be almost free, just a little plant. It becomes a tremendous markup. And more important, what it does, it gives money and power to all these criminals. So we could put them out of business right now, overnight, like when happened during the Prohibition. When the Prohibition ended, the mafia went out of business in the alcohol business. There was no more profit there.
Well, before the repeal of the Volstead Act, the only people who made money in alcohol was organized crime.
Exactly.
And if you look at it now, the 21st century, that's exactly what's happening now.
And they admitted, by the way, the drug cartels admitted that since this legalization of marijuana in some states like Colorado, they're losing a bunch of money. They hated it. And what they do...
That's why the Zetas have declared war on the Sinaloa cartel.
Exactly.
Because of the legalization of the weed in Colorado and Washington State. It created such backup in their warehouses down south that they start fighting over to move the dope. So now we're looking at a government, a federally supported drug cartel, the Sinaloa cartel, fighting a federally trained a drug cartel in America. Now, is that not a recipe for disaster, sir?
Yes. Another thing also I would like to remind, not only they want us, first of all, addicted to drugs so they can make profit and they can pretty much, recycle this money through the banking system. That's part of their plan. There are a lot of different parts that they can take benefits. Drug cartels, they start to make the first profit. Then we have the side, the kickback they give to politicians. Because otherwise, I tell you something. I was there, not as many times as you are, but
we have enough resources to support ourselves. We do not need to import. They pump the Keystone Pipeline. If these corrupt politicians up there in D.C. see the light, sign the papers, get this thing in motion, Keystone Pipeline process, secure the border, stop this northbound invasion, secure the border, legalize the weed, and turn around and deport every swinging dick in this country that ain't got a green card.
Okay.
And I mean it.
Okay.
Direct across the border, one way, no coming back, and never coming back.
I understand the
I don't
frustration.
bleed hard about the families and the kids and all that shit.
Okay.
Illegal is illegal.
Okay, listen to me.
I'm sorry.
Robert, you gotta get a pill here, okay? A little bit. I understand what you're going through, but we gotta get a little bit on red bottom, okay? This is not internet only. This is also FCC rules. So my finger's not that fast with the bottom here, okay? So I need to push. Anyway, listen to me. Let's talk about something interesting. There is something going on right now in Texas that I think is disturbing, okay? They just last month 45,000. Illegal aliens between 16 and 17 years old. They consider kids, but they're also grown-up guys. For me, in this country would be almost men. Anyway, they send them mostly from Guatemala. They come to Texas, and Texas put them on the airplanes and send them to Arizona, okay? And this is kind of disturbing because there is no end. I mean, at least I'm all for helping somebody in necessity if there is some sort of political asylum or some sort of a real danger. But this is, unfortunately, an organized crime. It is planned. They know the amnesty is coming, and they're sending them by the buses, okay? Now, the problem is that just the last month, 45,000 illegal aliens, they're young people, don't get me wrong, I understand, but they're still people that we cannot feed the whole world. I mean, when enough is going to be enough? Now, this is all on the shoulders of Arizona mostly. And,
Yes.
And what do you think about this? What do you know about this without getting too out of control, please?
Without getting out of control, I got a 38-year-old son that can't get a job. Okay? I mean, the people in America can't find work. Then we flood the markets with this untrained illegal workers. And what does that do to the legal workers that can't find work? And then they bump it up with the electoral benefits or welfare. Support them and put them on welfare. And what's happening is the American people are being inundated with this welfare burden that's going, that the working classes that have to work, they have to supply. They got mortgages, they got car payments, they got kids in college. They have to endure the extra burden of supporting this third world invasion. And then we have the regular kids, youth in America that can't find work. Now we have the burden with the trying to survive too. When is enough going to be enough, Luca?
Exactly.
When are the people in America going to stand up and say, hey, we've had it?
I'm talking, let's not forget, right now, America is not America of maybe 50 years ago. Right now, we are borrowing money from China to give them to Ukraine, to give them to other countries. We don't even have anymore our own resources straight. We have poor people in our streets. We have kids, our own kids, that pretty much, because many of them, they go to sleep without even food. There is a lot of poverty out there. In the last 7-8 years, we've been in depression. Even people don't want to admit it, but it is serious. So my point is this one, and this is complacency the government, and I would like to know exactly what the governor is doing, because Arizona governor seems like pretty much not that much allowed here. I mean, these people, we're gonna pay with our tax dollars.
The demise is on purpose. It's on purpose because we have children, we have kids here that can't even get jobs here in America. And this is part of that Clevens-Ploward strategy for destruction of this nation.
Yes.
And that's exactly what it's all about.
And I completely agree.
We can't have it. We've got to get this stuff under control.
And all I hope now, right now, people wake up, because another thing I want to say, we need to stop to being frozen with this politically correctness, because they're going to try to point. Every time you speak up something about real issues, and this is for me real issues. For example, in 2005, just because I was involved, and I'm still involved in understanding and trying to denounce this problem called illegal invasion of illegal immigration, Southern Poverty Law, this communist organization pretty much controlled by the FBI, in my opinion, they did a report about me that I know that, by the way, you also did. idea in this sort of a nativist. And they try to paint you like a bad person. Why nativist? First of all, I was even born here. Just because you don't agree that we should pretty much open our borders to everybody, like they say, you are a bad person. And by the way, I see that you've been featured too in the Southern Poverty Law Center.
The Southern Poverty Law Center has me listed as the 5th most hated nativist in America.
Wow.
They call me the midwife of militias in this nation. And I call that, my friend, to me, I'll be honest with you, that's a badge of honor.
I agree.
I feel so proud that it can be recognized that I am out there trying to make the changes that's going to bring this nation back. And I'm so sick and tired of all these people that sit back and stab me in the back and have no respect for what I do, nor will they listen to me when I tell them to do something because they think they know something. And it's driving me nuts, amigo. You have no idea.
Oh, I understand, Lista. And that's why I want to say another thing. Now, I would like to talk about a little bit what we are facing as a nation and what exactly we have left. What we have left, in my opinion, is each other and God, if you believe in God, okay?
I believe in God, my Father, sir.
That's my point. And right now, even if we don't agree on every issue, we have people sometimes that we may have different personalities, different way of life, different also social extraction, different minds, it's okay. But if we don't understand that right now, we should really treasure each other because every one of us, they understand what's going on. Could be our own brother and sister that we could probably, I'm not trying to be dramatic, this is not just about politics anymore. This has become physical and a life or death situation.
Yeah, we are. There are people that don't give a shit. They're so wrapped up in their own thought process and their own entities. They don't care about anything but themselves. And it's driving me nuts, sir.
Okay,
wait. It's rampant. It's a curse of the nation.
Okay, little dog.
Fucking kids, party sermon language.
Little dog, listen to me. Listen to me.
Yes, sir.
I'm having cramps to my finger here. I cannot keep pushing the red button. Okay, they're gonna need to get a chamomile or drink a beer, maybe a couple of bottle of water or something.
All right, yeah, right on.
Please, no, seriously, this is FCC. Okay, I don't want to be shut down here. And do me a favor.
Okay, I'll get a grip.
Please. Okay, I mean this is not good. Okay.
Yes, sir.
No, everything's okay.
If he's cussing, you have to cut him off. You can't just let him.
Okay. They're telling me that we have a problem here. Okay.
I'll shut you off.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, so this is it. Okay, me, please. I want to help up, but this is you need to calm, please. Okay, this is serious.
I'm calm.
Okay. Now, anyway, all I want to say is this one: we have different personalities. I understand. Some of us have to. We live in a different environment, and sometimes it's normal. We are humans. You spend many years on these borders, but we can do that. We need to cut you off.
For the past 10 years, Luca,
I understand.
Standing the line.
I understand. Listen to me. I want to give you a hug now, and I'm going to say hi, and I'm going to play a song for you that you listen about it, and we will talk to you soon, okay? Talk to you later, little dog. I had to cut you off now. Be good, my friend. Bye-bye. Bye. Okay, this is unfortunately what happens. We're alive. We took care of the situation, and what can I say? It's we're dealing with human beings. We're all humans, and we have rules also. We have these rules, and we have to stop, okay? So now, since we got this going, I have to play a little song that I would like to just dedicate to every human being out there that try to face this evil corruption and denounce this open borders invasion.
We're the Minutemen. We're gonna stand for our country. We'll fight till the end. We're the Minutemen. We're gonna stand for our country. We'll fight till the end. We're the Minutemen. We're common people. We're just women and men, but our borders will defend.
Okay. We are back. I would like to say a couple of things, first of all. As I said before, this is a live show, and we deal with human beings. There are no exception, of course. If somebody make a mistake or break the rules, we have federal rules we need to comply, and we just apply this, okay? There are no any type of preference. But I also need to say something as a general point of view. If the worst thing in life somebody can do is cussing or being loud, man, I think we have bigger problems than that, okay? Of course, now we are on the air and we apply these rules. But in general, private life, I would like to spend a couple minutes about Little Dog. I've been knowing the man at least the last 9 years, back and forth. I've been following his activities. I know very well that, like every one of us, we have weak points. We are not perfect. We are humans. The guy may be loud, maybe sometimes a little bit exactly, not somebody you would like to invite for a tea meeting at 5 o'clock in front of Buckingham Palace, or maybe some high society event. But the guy is honest, straightforward. He has his own convictions, his own ideals. One thing I must give him credit, and he can deny that. You agree with him or not. This guy, he could have retired 9 years ago and spent the last few years of his life in a comfortable environment, playing golf or doing whatever he wanted. Instead, he dedicated his last 9 years on this pretty much wild territory, southern border. I'm talking about 50 yards from the line, okay? He's been shot more than 25 times. I know that. His dogs they've been poisoning. They've been killed by the cartels because they don't want dogs. They give you a warning, okay? He's been intimidated also by our own government, okay? Decided that he has a lot of friends I know in the border patrols. They don't like him. He's a witness. He's there pointing out that there is a big, huge trafficking of human beings and drugs. They don't want people like that. So as much as, today I'm a little upset with him because I wanted to have him a little longer on the show, the fact that he's been doing this, regardless, the guy, he has some good qualities, okay? And there's been a lot of gossiping around. I've been receiving a couple of calls from people that I consider friends. They call me about Little Dog. Now he's in Bunkerville, and he's creating problems. And when I say they call me, first of all, I'm nobody, okay? I'm not like any type of authority, but okay, as a friend, they want maybe my opinion, maybe if I know him. All I ask to these people that they call me about Little Dog was, what did he do exactly? Which law did he break? And they started to say, I heard a friend told me, stop. Anybody, first of all, has the right to face the accusers, okay? You cannot go behind the back and say, somebody told me that you are a criminal and you don't even have the right, the opportunity to defend yourself. So that was wrong there. So I said, you didn't see anybody. I mean, I have 2 ladies call me specifically, tell me that this guy did some sort of bad things. And I said, which law did he break? Did you see anything with your own eyes? I said, no, I just heard. I hear that. And I don't care, Little Dog, I knew him or not. Even if he was my worst enemy, nobody deserved to be backstabbed in the back just because somebody heard, okay? We know a fact, this is a fact, Little Dog is a big mouth. And sometimes his language is not exactly what you call FCC approved. That's not a crime, though. That's not something that we could condemn the guy because of his character, of his behavior. I mean, I'm talking about social behavior, okay? That's my point. Because then I started to ask to a couple of these people, what did he do in front of your eyes? Oh, he was very loud at the party. That's not a crime. And I asked him to talk softer. I mean, come on. This guy, first of all, look where he's coming from. He lives like Tarzan in the middle of nowhere for 9 years, just with his dog. That's pretty much when you call him Little Dog. He has few friends there. It's a wild area. And on top, everybody comes from a different background. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's not a crime. And at the same time, we should remember that people like him, in this moment of this danger of this nation, we need them more than ever. And I'm not saying it is perfect. Nobody's perfect. But think about the revolution, 1775. You were going to pick and choose who was with you standing in the line when the British, they were charging or they were stealing your home or raping your wife. You wish you had 1 million Little Dogs with you. That's my point. Of course, I'm very fair. If somebody does not comply with the rules that we have here on the air, I need to cut him off. I don't care if I like him or not. But at the same time, I'll say something. Please, let's remember that we have still basic rights here, that everybody's innocent until proven guilty, and everybody deserves to face the accusers, okay? And to be different, to have different social extraction or different type of communication or even different type of personal behavior, that you may not like him, that's fine, but that doesn't make you a bad person or a criminal, more important. That's all I'm saying. So, little dog, sorry you blew it today, but I'm glad we had a chance to talk a little bit. Mike, what do you think about all this?
Well, a friend of mine told me one time that as far as amnesty goes, that Reagan started amnesty. You know what? I don't care who started it. It's wrong. We can't take all these people in this country and make them legal. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not on the left or right. Two wrongs don't make a right. It's just not right either way.
I agree because I'm tired to hear about Reagan or Bush. If somebody made a mistake already, we know that they did, all of them. Why should we now make more mistakes? Okay, I mean, serious guys. I would be worried about so many different levels. If I was a blue collar, a guy working with my hands, oh my God. First of all, we already look our wages. Look at people in the 80s used to make $20 an hour in some meat factory packaging. A good living. You see the American dream. You see the man, the dad, the father going to work, the mom staying home. Look in the 50s. You have a nice car, you need a home, and everybody was happy. Now you have to work both two jobs. Kids go into some sort of education state program school system, and they pretty much forget what means a family, and you still don't make a living. A barrier you are paying. So from a level of labor, I don't care which party you are, if you understand that there is some sort of demand and supply, we already are in a recession. We already have so many millions of people without works. How can we just put more labor into this system? Is impossible.
There's no jobs.
There's no job. Okay, number one, we cannot do any more of this. Number two, let's not forget another thing. This is so important. I mean, there is a point that the system, it cannot support itself forever. I mean, school, education, all these costs, okay? And we already have a huge deficit. And then more important, I think, what comes down to sovereignty. Before you get somebody into your home, you have what? You have a door, okay? Yeah. And you ask him, who are you? Oh, it's me, I'm your friend. Okay, show me that you're a friend. You have some sort of a system of screening. That's why immigration laws, they were created. And this is the proof. I am a former immigrant, okay? I have no problems with immigrants. I consider like my brothers and sisters. I understand their love and their passion and their desperation to come here. So it's not like you're talking to some sort of a supremacist. Oh my God, you must hate immigrants. No, I was one of them. The only thing I understand that there are rules because we have 7 billion of human beings around this world. Every one of them, they wanted to, at least before, come to America when America was still America. Now probably still want to become here. But how many can we get? I mean, we cannot say, okay, let's get them all, open the gates. How can we do that? It's impossible.
We can't do that.
And then when we understand, unfortunately, the hidden reasons behind this, it is not just to get cheap labor for the Republican Party or for the big corporations or to get a little membership card for the unions or for the Democratic Party. It's even worse. It's to destroy and put us against each other and to create a balkanization. Because unfortunately, many people that come here, they come already brainwashed by their governments. Look at the tech school books that the Mexican embassy gives to all these different schools at the southern borders. We were talking before about the Reconquista. They don't come here and say, okay, I want to be part of America. Let's get together. Let's blend together. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Second Amendment, property rights. Great. I wish it was like that. Many of them, they come, hey, La Raza, for the race everything, outside the race nothing. And you, white man, unfortunately, you're on the way.
Well, the UN promotes all this stuff, and the Ford Foundation are responsible for some of the textbooks and some of the feelings down in Mexico about Americans. It's on purpose.
Exactly, and that's the point. We need to stop fighting each other. And Democrats, Republic, it's all a game. They're going to put us against each other. We have these globalists behind. Now they're using the last foot soldiers, the pawns, to pretty much destroy the fiber of this country from within. Yeah. Remember, these people, the next 30 years or 20 years, after they have amnesty, I'm talking about millions, with the chain migratory visa, they can get their families here. They're going to outnumber at the polls.
Yep.
Since now, according to the last 5 presidents at least, we're not anymore a republic, but they all call about democracy. we're going to be completely killed at the polls. Now, let's talk about sponsors, because this is not NPR. We don't steal your tax dollar. We work for the money, and we ask you politely. Talk about the sponsor, Mike.
Yes, Colorado River Vapor, if you smoke. Do you smoke, Luca?
No, I don't smoke.
Well, if you did, you could go to Colorado River Vapor, and they can help you kick the habit. They have 2 locations in Fort Mojave, Highway 95, 4400 Highway 95, and 1931 Highway 95 in Bullhead City. Go see Karen in the Fort Mojave store or Tom in Bullhead. They got many different flavors of the vapor. It'll help you kick the habit, and just tell them that Luca or Mike sent you.
Okay, perfect. By the way, I really appreciate it, because this is a free market. We believe in freedom. Our sponsors believe in freedom too, and they support us. And as I was saying before, different, I call NPR, by the way, lately, Nazi propaganda radio. And when I say Nazi, I tell you why. It's not just try to be cute. It's because Nazi was the national socialist, okay? We know that the socialism is pretty much, we have the union, the control of the government over the corporations. Here, unfortunately, it's even worse. The corporation control the government. So anyway, bottom line, what happens though, this NPR gets millions of tax dollars every year, plus they take the contribution from the corporations. So they have a completely disadvantage, and they use your dollars, tax dollar, you want it or not. Here instead, we just ask, and hopefully we get your support, and we appreciate it. So go to the second hour, incredible guest, don't go away, Pastor Anderson, Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna and Mike Haywood. Stay there.